You are right up my street.
Oh, you can't make me choose.
I go by Toyota. Sponsors T4.
Fuck me, Lee Ryan's 13. I remember we couldn't remember the word for table.
This is Your Welcome America, the podcast that explains what the bloody hell Brits are banging on about.
In every episode, we translate British pop culture for America.
And American pop culture for Britain.
You're welcome. I am Ben.
I'm Fraser.
Fraser Light Razor. Hi, babes.
Hiya, babes.
Now, this is really annoying to say for all involved. I have just told Fraser a mind-blowing story about something that happened yesterday that I cannot talk about on air. But if there's a giddiness to us, a giddiness and a slight hangover, it's because I just told a mind-blowing story.
Yeah.
Let's just say, I'm going to tease it. It involves someone I know having sex with a celebrity.
Yeah.
Whoa!
I feel quite giddy. So tell me, what have you been doing this weekend? I know you've been off gallivanting yesterday.
Yes, so I had a super fun weekend. I had Friday off, did all my boring chores on Friday, went for a drink on Friday night, and then I ended up going to a bar on Friday night. Who else was at that bar?
Me. Yeah, you emerged like a kind of demon from the mist at like midnight.
a real moment of me. So I ended up at this bar that I wasn't expecting to be at, and then someone came up to me and they're like, "Oh, mutual." Like, "Oh, Ben, just Fraser and Teddy are here." I was like, "Are they?"
Who told you that we were there?
Jordan? Is that his name?
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
So then I got my drink with my straw and slowly approached them and just tapped the straw in my drink and waited for them to notice me.
Yeah, it felt very made in Chelsea.
Yeah. Big news is summer is back in LA. After genuinely months of rainstorms, it's sunny again and it feels wonderful. So yesterday I went to my new friends from skiing, my ski friends.
Well, say where from.
Oh, Gay Ski Week.
No, well, I didn't really want to be here, so I was made to be here. So obviously I'm just like wanting to get this over with and get on with my life. This is a big inconvenience for me.
It was one of their 40th, so went to an area I would call mid-city.
I love the area of mid-city.
Mid-city. Like,
where would mid-city be in London?
Kennington?
Yeah, Kennington is very mid-city, you're right.
Great transport links. And and it was a pool party. It was so fun. So one of them is a landscape designer. So he has this awesome garden with a pool and hot tub, and we just turned up and it was so LA, but in a wonderful way. It was like, just a pool party on a Saturday with music playing and everyone just talking and drinking and being silly. Just spoke to so many people. The big thing there was they are clearly very experienced gays in terms of entertaining.
Okay.
So much so that on the side of their house, they've constructed a urinal. So you don't have to go. They're like, we don't want people trailing through our house to go to the bathroom.
Excuse me.
So you go down the alleyway beside, like at the corner beside their house, they've got a urinal with a red light bulb above it. Is that not genius?
Where does it go?
Oh, it's all plumbed.
What?
Yeah.
A real plumbed urinal, to use the correct...
Is that American urinal?
No, urinal is American.
Oh, I can never remember.
Urinal is UK.
Okay. Yeah, how fun's that?
That's insane. Lovely.
Yeah. What's your goss?
Not much. I went for a hike yesterday for like 3 hours
wow.
in Griffith Park. And last night I stayed in and ordered Popeyes and watched 5 episodes of Criminal Minds. GLAM. 5 hours of Criminal Minds I watched.
Are you going out later today?
Yes.
Oh, you are?
Yeah. So I had a very sensible...
Who with?
Don't you worry about it.
Who?
Bordeaux.
Oh.
You know who I'm going out with. Yeah, today's been a real day of errands. I got up and did another hike this morning, and then I've just been bopping around doing errands all morning. It's been very boring. But I will tell you that I walked around Silver Lake Reservoir today, and...
What'd you see? Who'd you see?
I can only describe as actual beefcakes. Like hunks. So not just like, Silver Lake hipster men kind of lolling around. It was like, I saw like multiple like topless, shirtless, like beefcake men running around the reservoir. It was quite a lot to deal with.
Did you talk to any of them?
Yeah, I talked to every single one of them.
Hey,
Hiya.
tell us about your macros.
Yeah, exactly.
How many grams of protein a day?
Right, let's do some feedback because we got a lot of it.
Okay. By the way, if you want to get in touch with us, go to our Instagram, You're Welcome America. You can email us at
You're Welcome America podcast at gmail.com. And it's the letters UNR, not YOUR.
There you go.
So our first bit of feedback we got from a listener called Pierce Broderick, not Pierce Brosnan, which I thought it said to start with. So Pierce Broderick got in touch and he gave us a bit of exciting feedback after the Saturday's mini-series, which I liked him describing it as a mini-series. To me, it felt maxi.
It felt very long.
It felt never-ending. So he says, Una Healy's just been announced as the first guest for the Dublin Pride Party in June. And he says, fingers crossed she has her guitar for a few acoustic tunes. Go on, go on, go on.
Well, yeah,
bye,
what else is she going to
bye.
perform? Like, it has to be by herself, Saturday songs. So it's with a guitar.
And then I like that he followed up. He says the day after it was announced, he was in a cafe for brunch and they played the entire Chasing Lights album from start to finish. They know their audience in that location.
He said, truly a sign. Thank you, Pierce. Appreciate that. So our last episode was the Forgotten Girl Group special where we whizzed through a bunch of girl groups that really aren't worthy of full episodes just because there isn't enough material on them.
And it really whipped people into a frenzy, especially about an unexpected. We've heard about one forgotten girl group the most, which is Unexpected.
So Billy said, can't wait, you're doing God's work here. We are. Shout out to Easter.
Oh yeah, it is Easter Sunday.
Walter Boy 13, I still listen to Alicia's Attic in 2023.
So basically we heard about kind of a list of people's suggestions for, that we forgot some forgotten girl bands. And the first one is from, what was it, Andy?
Andy Van, and he said, guys, what about the Cheeky Girls? Cheeky. So, let's talk about the Cheeky Girls.
We are the cheeky girls, we are the cheeky girls, you are the cheeky boys, you are the cheeky boys.
Okay, so that's the Cheeky Girls with the song, the cheeky song in brackets or parentheses for Americans, Touch My Bum.
I forgot about how the vocals all sound like they're being sung to you down like a very long pipe.
Also, so they originally an X Factor kind of as a novelty act, and they performed that song, and I was thinking about the audition in my head, which I haven't watched for years, but them just in the room being like, we are the cheeky girls. Do you remember? It was very slow.
It's very hard to explain them as a phenomenon to people outside of the UK. Yeah, they auditioned for the show X Factor, and they're Transylvanian twins. They're just twins from Transylvania. I mean, there's nothing much more to say. And then they kind of have weirdly managed to stay relevant for much longer than you would ever have imagined. One of them dated an MP, remember?
Oh, yeah.
Lembert Opek.
Well, I was also thinking about the fact, so that song we just listened to, the Cheeky song, was their own song that they auditioned with. So I was thinking, money-wise,
I'd like to know,
royalties.
Get an eye on the financials of the Cheeky Girls.
Yeah.
Okay, so I heard from my friend Elisa. She texted me personally and messaged the Instagram. And first of all, she was disgusted that we live in a world where the Honeys are a forgotten girl band. But she said, 3LW, how dare you forget Fraser? And she's not wrong.
We do, but you don't, you will, but you won't, no more, baby, I'm not too right.
Had that album, Players Gonna Play.
Players are gonna play, and haters are gonna hate.
Do you also remember their kind of last single before they broke up? It was
No.
called I Do.
I don't remember that at all.
Oh, and the music video is all choreographed in a studio on green screen, and it's meant to look like they're, I think, in the ocean, and it's all water choreography. So there's water on the ground, and they're sliding and kicking water up. It's a pretty fun video. It definitely goes in the CGI Hall of Fame, that video.
Just three little women. Oh, you're a little woman.
Three little women.
Three little women. Cliff in Glasgow got in touch because I'd posted the Forgotten Girl group Stinks, which was a bit of a curveball. They were the group who were the non-smoking advert exclusively in Scotland, but an amazing...
A fake girl band.
Fake girl band singing a fake song, which was great, and about not smoking. Cliff said, I played this at our club night once, and honestly, it went off. I mean... a gay pop-centric club night in Glasgow playing Stinks.
Steve Early got in touch about, there's one more before we get to the one that we heard the most about. And he says, hi guys, great ep. I feel a bit burned that you didn't mention the turn of the century girl band Smoke 27. That's the word smoke number 2 and 7 written out not as a number. And their one hit, Been There, Done That, is still a big fave. He said there's a great checklist of technology permits it, so let's do it effects in the video. And he says they don't have their own Wikipedia page, but they did support Daniel Bedingfield, and one of them went out with abs from 5.
Okay.
I won't take your crap, 'cause I've been there, done that. You can say what you wanna say. You can do what you wanna do. I don't care, I ain't loving you half as much as what I used to.
Okay.
Steve, I will say I have zero recollection of this song and video, and I'll say really shaky start and then a pretty fun chorus.
Yeah, it's a good song. I'm a little threatened by all of them. There's a lot of them like looking at the camera like flaring their eyes as
Yes.
if they're about to like hit you, and you would like go, oh.
Yeah, hard. They look dead hard.
Yeah, and one of them you pointed out had like that Cheryl Tweedy very much like braids down one side of the head.
A side cornrow.
Yeah.
A side Caucasian cornrow.
Side row. Thank you for that.
Yeah. And then by far our most kind of feedbacked group. So I'll just give a sample. We had from Caroline and Justin, amongst other people.
I think also, much like the Cheeky Girls, that maybe we didn't think about them because this is a duo.
Yes, yeah, this slipped through, and that was Daphne and Celeste.
Stick you, your mama too, and your daddy. Stick you, your mama too, and your daddy.
Fucking hell.
I do have to admit, I did laugh at your mummy, your daddy, your greasy grandmammy. That
Imagine being one of our parents, and if we were into that and having to listen to it.
Would you remember their follow-up song? It was actually really offensive.
What was it again?
It was that cheerleading chant, UGLY. You ain't got no alibi.
You're ugly.
You're ugly.
Yeah.
But then all of the lyrics of it were like about you being ugly. In fact, I'm going to look up the lyrics to UGLY while you're looking at Daphne and Celeste.
UGLY was criticized by those who felt it promoted bullying.
Yeah, it did.
In an interview included in the UGLY single, Daphne stated, "Everyone is indeed ugly in their own special way." What?
Do you want to? do you want a sample of the lyrics from UGLY by Daphne and Celeste? Are you ready? Your teeth are yellow, they're covered in mold. You're only 14, you look 100 years old.
Oh.
When looks were handed out, you were last in line. Your face looks like where the sun don't shine. Did you fall off a building and land on your head? Or did a truck run over your face instead? There ain't no pill, because you ain't ill. You're ugly. Okay, when it's recited like a poem, that is funny.
Yeah. What was so confusing about Daphne and Celeste is that they were American, but it was all based in the UK.
Yes. And they in all their songs, they sped up their voices so they had a very high Alvin and the Chipmunks kind of sound.
Very confusing. I also think we're one step away, not from a girl group, but from Lolly.
Yes. Yeah, we're inches away from Lolly.
Pop stars. Viva, viva, viva la radio.
Can I just read you one more verse as a dramatic reading?
Recite it.
You've got eyes like a pig and your nose is big. And with your hair like that, you should be wearing a wig. Uncle Fester, remember him? I never knew you had a twin. You can't disguise your googly eyes. In the Miss Ugly pageant, you win first prize. Your mama say you ugly? You're ugly. Okay, I've now talked myself into loving the song UGLY by Daphne and Celeste. It's back, baby.
It was one of their songs on a soundtrack to something.
It was on Bring It On.
Oh, that's what I'm thinking of.
And they famously performed at Glastonbury and everyone threw bottles of urine at them until they left the stage.
Like you said urine, I was going to say bottles of piss.
I know, I wanted to. And actually, in a strange dovetailing of other people we've talked about, the Cheeky Girls performed at my university and they got booed off the stage.
Oh, I seem to recall, were we both once at GAY at the Astoria, Astoria, is that what it was called?
Yes.
By Tottenham Court Road, and Daphne and Celeste Cheeky Girls were playing. Have I made that up?
You've planted a false memory in my head if you have made it up, because that does sound familiar.
Yeah. Anyway, if you want to get in touch with feedback about anything, just give us a shout. Go on our Instagram, drop us an email at...
Oh, You're Welcome America podcast at gmail.com.
Oh, and please rate and review us on Apple Podcasts. Right. Shall we get into the episode?
Yes, let's get into my topic.
And we are back. Fraser, you're up first.
Yes.
I don't know what your topic is.
So, I I went off of some current news and it inspired me. So right now in the UK, there's this kind of wild debate happening, which stems from, they talked about it on This Morning, which is how it got all this attention, but it stems from Bodyguard the Musical is touring the UK. And in Manchester, do you read about this?
Yes.
And in Manchester, yeah, people were getting so drunk and being so loud that the police were called and people were escorted out of the theatre because people were trying to sing along to like my I Will Always Love You.
People being like,
and drowning out the person singing, who was, this is not the person I'm talking about, it's a different person, but guess who's playing?
It was Melody in the Pussycat, from the Pussycat Dolls. Was Melody the one who left?
Yeah, she's the one who tried to upstage Nicole with those vocals.
Right, so Melody is not on their comeback song React.
No, she is not.
Got it.
She is too busy playing Rachel Marin in Bodyguard the Musical.
Wait a minute. So, is your topic Nicole Scherzinger?
No.
Okay.
This is UK. I know she is British, essentially, at heart.
Okay.
We've already done Alexandra Burke, who you and me saw doing Bodyguard the Musical.
Yeah.
But she took over from a certain singer who may have coined their own name.
Oh my god. Are we about to talk about Beverley Knight?
Ben, we are discussing Beverley Knight.
Queen of UK Soul?
Queen of UK Soul, Beverley Knight. So this has inspired me to think about her. And actually, it weirdly kind of dovetailed into, I saw that and I thought, oh, Beverley Knight played, because I thought, oh, it'd be fun to talk about the Bodyguards. And I was like, well, hang on. Bev did that. And then I realized it's also Beverley Knight's 50th birthday this year. And she's doing
Gotta recognize it.
She's doing a tour of the UK for her 50th birthday. And I kind of thought, I was like, oh, I know like one of her songs. So I thought I'd just talk about her songs to start with. She has released a shocking amount of singles compared to what is in your memory.
Is she coulda, woulda, shoulda?
She's shoulda, woulda, coulda.
Shoulda, woulda, coulda.
Not coulda, woulda, shoulda.
Okay.
Shoulda, woulda, shoulda, coulda, woulda.
Okay. Got it.
Coulda, woulda, shoulda is the right thing, but I'm enjoying mixing it up.
Coulda, woulda, shoulda.
Woulda, shoulda, coulda.
Coulda, woulda, shoulda.
So yeah, she's released, I can't actually keep a count here, but look, just cast your eye at this list of singles. She's released a lot of singles. So she started out in the 90s, kind of mid to late 90s. She got her first record deal. She released an album that no one kind of knew about. And then basically she changed record labels in 1998. And she released this album called Prodigal Sister. And I'm just going to, Prodigal, and Sister's spelled Sista.
Sister.
It's worth noting that Beverley Knight is from Wolverhampton. Which is very funny. But then, yeah, so this is the first song.
My problem is, though, when I listen to that, I feel like I'm listening to a mashup.
I think it is like 10 different songs mashed together.
Yes.
But that's Made It Back 99.
Oh, I made it back.
And actually, when I was listening to that, I was like, oh yeah, she actually did have a real moment in time musically, late 90s, early 2000s. This run of like 4 songs are kind of, they all definitely would appear on a Mother's Day, like a Mother's Day CD that you would buy for your mum. Mm-hmm. And they definitely all sound like songs that my mum would have bought. Beverley Knight is, I'm really curious to get my mum's feedback on Beverley Knight, which we will get next time, because I don't remember her having any of her albums. You know, my mum was more concerned with some of the younger contemporary artists like Kelly Rowland.
Was she?
Yeah, I've told you this, that my mum bought Kelly Rowland's solo album. I didn't.
The first one?
Yeah, I didn't. My mum did.
Wow.
So, like, I'd, like, come downstairs and my mum would be, like, hoovering to, I know, can anybody do it like me? I know.
Or
Mary's got the same size hands as Marilyn Monroe. Yeah. But I'm always constantly...
Laura out with the Mr. Sheen, just like, same size hands.
That Can't Nobody song, it's just very funny that my mum kind of almost discovered that song before me.
Fuck.
Embarrassing. Then comes the best song that I believe in her career.
Okay.
You ready for this? I fucking love this song. I think it sounds like it could be on any advert for a million products in the UK.
I also think it's like an ITV Saturday night tea time show, wish fulfillment something. And finally, Fraser's been struggling for years, gets to do the thing he's always wanted, and they play that over the package.
Oh, it's all of it. It could be used in a trailer for an episode of like Strictly Come Dancing. If it's like coming up next on Friday on Strictly, it'd be like greatest day, and then we're like spinning around to it. I think it could be like an Impulse deodorant advert.
Yes.
I think it
Boots.
unfortunately could be coded more feminine and be for feminine products. It could end up being for makeup, tampons.
Yes.
Anything.
Oh, it's a good tampon advert one because it's very much someone has their period, but they've got like a really big day, but it's not going to stop them because the product is so good they can still have the greatest day of their life.
Exactly.
Got it.
And I will say I was trying to find Beverly Knight sponsorship deals because I'm obsessed with people in the 2000s signing up to be the face of, what was that girl band parade with the face of women's football?
Yes.
But I couldn't find unfortunately a Beverly Knight feminine product deal because I do feel like that would have been the actual ideal for that one. Mm-hmm. I had a real obsession with this song. And then when I got to university, I discovered that my friend Caroline and my friend Fran also, pre us meeting, had also been obsessed with this song. And when the three of us discovered it, I don't know how we did. I've never been so happy to sit in a room with two other people and have them know the lyrics to Greatest Day by Beverly Knight. And it's best if you got that chill down in your soul. Yes, it is.
She's doing some runs and some vocal licks.
She runs all over the place. She has the runs, like essentially. She's just, and also I love the Greatest Day video because it's definitely filmed in the UK, but with a filter to try and make it look like she's at least in the south of France.
But no, because she's on the right side of the road.
In that case, she's in the south of France.
In a car on the other side of the steering, because that's what I was trying to work out as well.
I mean, this is definitely Europe. I'm looking at it now. This is for sure. This is Europe. This is like Lanzarote.
Also, where does she go for her greatest day? Like, where does this end up? She's just driving.
She's by a lake, by a body of water.
A lake.
This to me feels like she's in like Gran Canaria.
But wait, she's got to get somewhere good.
I think it might be about the journey, not the destination.
Oh.
In fact, I think this whole video might take. She's driving to a cliff. She's gonna jump
is
off.
It night? Uh-oh.
Beverly's about to just drive off the cliff like Thelma and Louise.
That car does not have wheels to go over those rocks. Like, that is, you know what I mean? That's not an off-roader. God, I'm glad she parked before going over the cliff, though.
Yeah.
Put the handbrakes on.
The video does end with her driving off this cliff. Hang on. Dun, dun. Greatest day ever. Ah!
Beverly, put on the handbrake.
Beverly Knight off a cliff. So then we have the song Shoulda, Woulda, Coulda.
And how I wish I'd done a little bit more. Now shoulda, woulda, coulda means I'm out of time. Shoulda, woulda, coulda can't change your mind. And I wonder what I'm gonna do. Shoulda, woulda, coulda are the last words of a fool.
Now, nothing says radio hit quite like a mid-tempo song like that. The Radio 2 playlist just buzzing when that came out.
And this stinks of like, how many shops do you feel like in the year that this came out had this playing? I feel like Next still plays this song.
Lovely.
It couldn't be more of a Next song, could it? Like, it's just just so middle of the road in a way that is astounding to hear it in this day and age.
Do you not think it's funny that Next is called Next? Because it's like, wait, what's next? Oh,
this is next.
This is what's next? Oh.
Do you remember how much of a big deal the Next sale was, the New Year's Day sales?
Oh, yeah.
Because it got to the point, my friend Lydia worked at Next. She worked in Next Home when we were teenagers, and she had to go to work so early on a New Year's Day for a sale because they would open early, and people were like lining up to go to Next. Such a I know the internet existed, but this is so pre like Amazon and like online shopping to the extent of like, imagine lining up to buy something from Next.
Now, I'm not going to say I've famously never set foot in a Greg's. I've been inside a Next. I don't think I've ever owned anything from Next.
Yeah, I feel like maybe I bought something for like my bedroom at some point, especially when Lydia worked there. I know I used to go into Next Home a lot and talk to her.
Yeah, that's fair.
And yeah, I remember she always said that it was such a bizarre job because it was like grown-ups talking to her about like bed frame deliveries, and she was like 18 and didn't, lived in her single bed in her parents' house and was always like, I don't even care what they're talking about.
Yeah.
Trying to talk to her about curtain rod sizes, and she's like, ugh.
Do you think now that all has been kind of taken over, what's it called, B&M?
Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
That's kind of, taken that space.
But that was never around when we were there, was it?
No. But I bet you if you stepped into a B&M now, you'd hear, shoulda, woulda, coulda, had a left man. Also, do you remember the episode of Sex and the City where Samantha just keeps saying shoulda, woulda, coulda to Carrie?
Yeah.
Ah, coulda, woulda, shoulda.
Every time I think about that, I think Bev really missed out on a collab for that one. She should have somehow got that song into that episode.
Ah, coulda, woulda, shoulda.
So I'm going to play one more Beverly Knight song for you.
Okay.
And I've got some other things I want to talk about with her. But this song's Keep This Fire Burning. And do you remember this? I think I mentioned this analogy in the Saturdays spin-off that we did.
Okay.
I mentioned the analogy of a Saturdays song sounding like a horse and cart with square wheels.
Oh, you said At Least My Love.
At Least My Love, yeah, is a horse and cart with square wheels, meaning it goes clunk, clunk. I would say Keep This Fire Burning is of the same family as that. Are you ready?
I'll be right behind you. Keep on going in whichever way the wind is blowing. I will be there till the world stops turning. Maybe I will keep this fire burning.
Do you know what it's a bit like is...
What About Us?
Yes.
By
You
Brandy.
ain't at the top, my call.
Yeah, it's like that, but with less like...
But a more
less-
mid-tempo version
Less
of
fun and a bit more radio friendly than What About Us.
Yeah. Can we talk about the fact that her name's Beverly? Bev.
Yes, we can talk about the fact her name is Beverly. So she changed her last name that's her stage name. She was actually born Beverly Ann Smith.
Bev Smith.
Bev Smith. Just one of... You want to talk about 90s mums names? Bev Smith.
Bev Smith.
Hi, Mrs. Smith. Your mom's called Bev. Oh, hiya, Bev.
Just call me Bev.
You're going to go over to Bev Smith's this weekend. So that's kind of, they're like her biggest songs. She's released 5 million other singles. She was because she basically she took a turn into theatre at the kind of certain point in her career. In 2013 is when she joined in The Bodyguard. Mm-hmm. So it's a really long time ago that she kind of moved
10 years ago.
Yeah. But she actually makes perfect sense as a musical theatre West End performer because she is genuinely a really talented singer. Mm-hmm. She just never quite got going as a pop star. I feel like it was hard to like categorize her, right?
Well, question on that. What was her highest charting single? Number 9?
It was Shoulda, Woulda, Coulda. It was number 10.
No, look, Come As You Are is number 9.
Oh, yeah, I don't even know what that is. At a certain point a few years ago, she joined forces with this one West End star whose name I don't know, but also Amber Riley from Glee, the one that is in...
Yeah.
And the three of them formed like a musicals girl group where the three of them would sing songs. They were like a kind of soul sister kind of... I think they were called something divas, like West End divas, and they recorded covers of West End songs, and it's basically just the three of them like screaming at the top of their lungs, and it's genuinely like fantastic.
Did they do a tour?
Yes, they did. Yeah. Here they are. They were called Leading Ladies. So yeah, the Leading Ladies, they were formed in 2017. I can't think of anything I would want to hear less than people singing songs from musicals, but I do appreciate these women doing it because at least they're talented. But they did... Hang on, let's look at their...
Amber Riley,
Beverly Knight, and Cassidy Jansen.
who I don't know.
But their songs were One Night Only. Oh, wow. They did a single that was I'm Every Woman / Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. I'm hoping that was a double A side and not a mashup.
Yeah.
Because that's a confusing... Should we listen to them doing I'm Every Woman?
Yeah.
I think it's worth.
I can sense your need, like rain up to the sea. I can make a rhyme, my confusion in your mind. And when it comes down to some good or bad love, that's what I got.
Okay, we just watched the lyric video of I'm Every Woman by Leading Ladies. It's
LL.
quite a wild ride. It has... Everyone is singing on that song.
Oh, yeah.
How do you feel about the song I'm Every Woman? I think the Shaka Khan version of this song is permanently in a top 5 of my favorite songs of all time
Oh.
list. I genuinely listen to I'm Every Woman I would say on a weekly basis. Is that an
Wow.
interesting piece of information? Is that a shock for you to hear?
Yeah, but it doesn't surprise me as well. That does
Yeah.
feel
Right.
If you like Greatest Day, you're
Right.
gonna like I'm Every Woman.
Same way that I genuinely, without irony and without like a kind of an 80s like, oh, I'm going to that nightclub Flares and like, you know, and I'm 50.
Reflex.
Where, a reflex. In the same way where I genuinely listened to Irene Cara's song Flashdance, What a Feeling. Like
that's a good
genuinely listen to that like in my car, and like it's not like, oh, I'm gonna put this novelty song on. It's like, oh, I'm gonna listen to this piece of like art.
Oh, great song.
I love Flashdance. What a Feeling.
Now, we started this whole segment by you saying how there was that theatre production, The Bodyguard, and people got in trouble for singing along. Imagine them performing that on stage and not being able to sing along.
Yeah, well, I feel like the leading ladies their vibe would have been inclusive because it's not
Yes.
not a musical theatre performance. It's like a
And they're all
one-off.
such vocal powerhouses. If you tried singing along, no one would hear you anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about old Caucasity in the middle, but Beverly and Amber, that's like standing behind kind of double jet engines trying to like compete with their vocals. Bev has been kind of on the reality TV circuit and on a few different more on the kind of competition reality circuit. That I found two shows that one of them we were definitely living in the UK and I've completely blanked it from my memory. The other is a show from last year and this year that has completely passed us by.
It's one of them Celeb Air.
No, so the first one is a show called Just the Two of Us. Do you remember this?
This rings a bell.
So this is it was a TV show in the year 2006 and 2007. Hosted by Vernon Kay and Tess Daly. Only TV show they've ever hosted together. I keep seeing that fact everywhere.
What a point. I just get pointed at in the face.
And basically the format of the show is that a professional singer would team up with a celebrity and they would be a duo, and then it was kind of just a competition reality singing show but with a professional singer and another celebrity teamed up together. So it was all duets.
Okay, and the celebrity, they're a non-singing celebrity.
Non-singing celebrity and a singing celebrity.
That's fun.
Then most recently, this is a phenomenon that we've missed.
Okay,
And I think this show is actually like not like us watching X Factor before a night out, but I think this has got like a Saturday night kind of event novelty event viewing, and it's basically it's called Starstruck on ITV. Have you heard of this?
No.
It got announced as kind of a rebooted, but not officially, but like a rebooted and remixed version of Stars in Their Eyes.
Oh, okay.
So it's an ITV like primetime ITV show hosted by Ollie Murs. And the judges for the first series were Bev, Sheridan Smith, Jason Manford, the comedian.
Okay.
And someone else who I've forgotten, doesn't matter. And basically, there were teams of... so there would be... it's really hard to explain. There was teams of three... Not impressionists. What's it called? Like a cover impersonators for one artist, and the three of them perform a song together by that artist. Mm-hmm. But it begins with them having like an off-screen makeover that happens in like a transition. So you see them dressed normally, then suddenly they're dressed as the star, and the judges have to react. And I'm just gonna have to play you. I know I'm doing a lot of clips, but
I'm nervous.
This reveal of this is the Gary Barlows. I cannot think of anything more British than what we just witnessed.
That Jason Manford being like, oh, that's good.
Oh, I'll tell you what, he's doing a good Gary Barlow.
Sheridan Smith kicking off her heels and standing up to dance. Adam Lambert just being happy to be there and getting a check. Fuck.
So, unfortunately, I can't find, or maybe I didn't spend enough time looking, but I obviously wanted to play you a female artist. And there's an Ariana Grande group, and I could not find hide nor hair of any footage of the three people getting made over to look and sing like Ariana Grande.
So we've had 2 seasons so far.
Yeah, exactly. And then, are you just looking at the artists that are on it? It's pretty interesting. So yeah, it's...
Oh yeah, Lady Gaga,
Yeah.
Bad Romance, clunkety clunk clunk.
And what's the Ariana song that they had to do? Is it One Last Time?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. And then I know that I definitely saw... because it came back to me now and I understood what I was watching. I saw there was an Ed Sheeran week, And the clip, someone had recorded them watching it, and the bit where they get made over was for the Ed Sheeran makeover was a wild ride of ginger wigs.
Well, those also, it's such an underwhelming, like, oh, I'm going to get made over as Gary Barlow. I'm like, okay.
Well, I like that they had 2 bald men that they put wigs on. That's
Yes.
funny. That's
At least
very
with
funny.
like Lady Gaga, there's something you can do.
There's some scope there,
Or even
yes.
with an Amy Winehouse, I'm like,
Yeah.
there's a look.
Although that is also quite a troubling makeover for... It just feels disrespectful to Amy Winehouse
It
for some
does.
reason. I can't think of anything more British than a Gary Barlow impersonator. I think we might have reached the pinnacle
peak
of
Brit.
UK British thoughts, and I'm not sure. I think we might have to cancel the podcast.
A Gary Barlow impersonator on ITV on a Saturday night.
Right.
In a shiny floor
Yeah, with an
studio.
audience all standing up and clapping when someone
audience
reaches the
people
high
going-
note. Yeah. It could be the greatest day. Greatest day. And I'm feeling good. Never better. So Bev's she's a 2-time judge on that show. Anyway.
Okay. Have we come to the end of the line?
We've come to the end of the line, as the honeys would say. And it's tricky because to think of the US equivalent of Beverly Knight, it's hard because Amber Riley really kind of dominates. She dominated my thoughts before I saw that she was in the leading ladies group with her. And I don't feel like it's fair to Jennifer Hudson to kind of add that into her too. Or do you think that maybe it's more like, to keep it kind of topical, is she more of like an Ariana DeBose kind of character, star of stage and screen,
Maybe.
who also appears on television?
Wait a minute. Macy Gray?
Do you know what? That's not bad. Interesting.
I mean, obviously Macy Gray had one massive song that the world knows, but as we always say with US equivalents, it's always bigger. But the rest of her career is like, wait, what's going on?
Does feel like she has the same level of kind of cachet as a Bev Knight, and I can imagine starstruck. I can imagine Macy Gray being a judge on that.
Yeah, and again, with the Macy Gray performers, that'd be good.
Okay, well there you go. Look, you've talked me into it. The US equivalent of Bev Knight is Macy Gray. You're welcome.
Welcome.
I coulda, woulda, shoulda.
And we are back. I don't know if we can ever get more British than what we just went through. So Ben is going to talk about an American topic.
Going to bring us back to this country.
Made it back to a place called America.
So, we are going to talk about a local eatery, and that is called Damon's Steakhouse.
Say it Scottish.
Damon's Steakhouse. Thick steaks, tropical drinks. So,
You going, say it Scottish.
very Scottish. So, it is a steakhouse in Glendale. It's been around since 1937.
Jesus.
I'll just play you something real quick just to get us in the mood.
Paradise is never far when you go to Damon's Tiki Bar.
So, it is a tiki bar and steakhouse.
Was that real?
Yeah, so Damon's Tiki Bar 7 years ago did a self-funded mini comedy series.
Ooh.
It's rough watching. It's really quite problematic. But I do want to. We don't need to talk about it. But I enjoy the theme tune. We don't need to talk about that show because I watched it and it was a real rough, horrible, problematic struggle. But Damon's Tiki Bar is in Glendale, location of the Americana brand.
And location of what we did decide collectively was the worst restaurant or fast food meal that we have eaten in service of the podcast. Islands.
Ariel, listen to me.
I
Teriyaki thing I had. Horrible. Teriyaki burger.
and do you remember that was when I got a stomach issue during the meal. That's how bad Islands was.
Do you know what we still need to do is Chili's?
Yes, we do.
That's
But it's strange that Islands and Damon's Tropical Steakhouse are both in Glendale, the least kind of tropical location of Los Angeles, I
Yeah.
believe.
Ariel, listen to me.
Yeah, at least colorful or
Yeah,
tropical
completely.
locations.
Like, couldn't be. If there was like a tiki bar in Malibu, I would at least feel the ocean breeze would provide some kind of authenticity. But the fact that those two places are in Glendale,
But it's like, I've told you before, whenever I'd go to Manchester for work, we would go to do a tiki bar crawl. Because there's so many, imagine a tiki bar in Manchester.
Weirdly, I feel like that makes more sense than Glendale.
Really? God, I wonder how the construction of the Soho House Manchester's going.
Maybe it's tiki themed.
Oof. So we went the other
Soho
night.
Tiki House.
Soho Tiki. Wait, I mean, if there's one in Hawaii, that'd be fun.
Yeah.
Hawaii House. It is, I'm going to just read the established in 1937, so it's a year younger than my dad. And it said on the website, join us in the South Seas adventure that is Damon's. We've been serving up savoury slabs of prime rib, pan-roasted pork chops, backyard barbecue, seafood, and delicious fun wrapped in great value and a transportive tiki thatch vibe to generations of families and friends. It's like this is a long sentence.
You say tiki thatch?
It says tiki thatched vibe.
What does that mean?
So and it was this Oregon-born entrepreneur, Loyal Damon. Good name. He set it up basically.
So that hotbed of tiki culture, Oregon.
Ariel.
Yes, exactly. So we went the other night for our friend Teddy's dinner. So just to describe the restaurant. In fact, do you want to describe the restaurant, the vibe, what it's like when you go in?
Yeah, it's... Well, obviously, to do that, we have to address our lack of being able to describe what tiki is, because it's a completely made-up amalgam of different cultures of the kind of Polynesian, kind of Pacific Island countries and nations, but there's no actual rhyme or reason to it.
Yes.
So it's basically, yeah, if you were like, hey, I don't know anything about Hawaii or Polynesia or any of those places, but I'm just going to take a guess, and I'll decorate a place, I guess, in that vibe.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like.
Absolutely.
There's
the thatched roof,
thatched roofs,
fish tanks
yeah,
everywhere.
kind of fake bamboo roofs on a few different things. Lots of kind of bamboo sidings.
Do you want to describe this light that I took a picture of?
Shells,
Shells,
a shell light. Yeah,
shell light.
Kind of a general Polynesian beach vibe in there.
Oh my god! Have you ever been to that tiki bar in San Francisco? Oh wait a minute. Did you not go and have a drink there while I was coming from the airport in San Francisco with Colin and Tom? That tiki bar that's in that hotel.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Remember that? That's an amazing tiki bar.
Well, that was amazing. That had a full water. That had a pool where people do like a water show in the middle of it.
Yeah.
And it rains during like. Yeah. What is that place called?
I cannot remember, but it's a very famous tiki bar in.
But it's in a hotel, and it's really strange because when you walk
in the basement of the hotel.
Yeah, and when you walk into the lobby of this hotel to go to it, and then there's like a UPS store in this hotel lobby as well. It's all very
this country.
Yeah, this country's so confusing.
That tiki bar, the water, it was the original indoor swimming pool of the hotel. Then they converted it. I want to hear from you. We were there for a birthday dinner. What did you order?
I got the burger. Because, I don't really, there's no, oh God, I can't get into this, but I don't eat steak, and I don't eat red meat, and I don't eat fish. So that really takes a lot of things off the menu in a steakhouse for me. Mm-hmm. But inexplicably, even though I don't eat red meat, I will eat a beef burger because I can request it to be well done.
How was the burger?
It was great.
Yeah.
It was really good. I actually couldn't, there was too much of it. I couldn't finish it.
We had a starter of some potato skins.
I think it's because I had a potato skin, which is essentially was half a potato before I ate the rest of my food.
We had some calamari that wasn't great, and some
kind of coconut shrimp.
Then I had a steak and a fillet steak, as they call it in the UK, and 8 ounces, medium rare. And I asked for the double baked potato, and the way it was like a baked potato where they'd then separately done mashed potato, so then they put on the baked potato a mound of mashed potato. It's very confusing.
Yeah, no, it's the inside of that potato scooped out, so they bake it and then they scoop that out, mash it, and mix it with something and put it back in the same.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I had 2 Mai Tais.
Poolside, sipping on a Mai Tai.
And then I had to switch to beer because they were making me feel sick.
Yeah, they were really strong.
They're really strong.
Very sweet.
Yeah, and I just was like, I couldn't. I also had not eaten... I hadn't eaten much that day, and I was in a very low blood sugar state when we arrived at Damon's. So that first Mai Tai, it not only did it almost knock me to the ground, it did keep me alive, like the sugar from it.
Okay.
But then I had to switch to beer because I was feeling drunk.
I saw our friend Joe today, and he was like, after that meal, he's like, I slept really badly. And I had 1 Mai Tai and lots of water, and I did wake up at 5 a.m, like, ugh.
Yeah.
And I said to him, it was as if I'd been gently hit by a bus.
Yeah, I think we all got kind of cursed by a volcano god from the fictional country of Tiki.
Got it. So we're going to play a game, actually. It's called Damon's or Namon's.
Okay.
And I'm going to read off some menu items.
Okay.
And it's either Damon's, served there, or Namon's, not served there. So, Damon's or Namon's. It's a special chicken fried steak with potatoes and country gravy.
Namon's.
No, it's Damon's. I want to know, country gravy, which country is that from?
Also, what's a chicken fried steak?
I have no clue. Also, country gravy, what's the opposite? City gravy?
Chicken fried steak.
Yeah.
That's like
Should I Google what a chicken fried steak is?
fish grilled sausages. It doesn't make any sense.
Chicken fried steak, also known as country fried steak. It's an American breaded cutlet dish. It's a beef steak coated with... Oh, so it's like a steak that's got a coating on it, like a crumbly coating.
Oh, so there's no chicken involved. It's just as if it's a breaded chicken.
What
It's
meat is
breaded
chicken
steak.
fried steak? It's just a cut of steak that's coated in seasoned breading. Another question for you. Damon's or Namon's?
Great game name, by
Filet
the way.
beef stroganoff served over butter egg noodles.
Oh, that's Namon's.
Damon's.
Ugh.
Butter egg noodles.
I definitely didn't see that on the menu. I thought I'd read the menu quite thoroughly, but you're proving me wrong. You're proving me a fool.
Damon's or Namon's. It's a special garlic bread boat with papaya shavings.
Namon's.
You're right.
You made that up.
Damon's. Damon's or Namon's. It's a side chicken stock rice.
Oh, that's Damon's.
That's
I saw that on
Damon's.
there. I like the sound of that. That sounds kind of nice.
So I also looked at some Yelp reviews. So Kayla S said, it did not have official tiki feel with rainforest and bird sounds. Ambience needs work. Parking is metered and timed.
So she wanted the full Rainforest Cafe experience.
It did not have official tiki feel.
Oh, from the official country. Yeah,
Of
it wasn't.
tiki.
The Tiki Tourism Board didn't stamp their tiki stamp on it.
Ariel.
The garlic bread was good.
We did have garlic bread, yeah.
It was delicious. Really nice. The Tonga Room. It's the name of the
Tonga
place in San
Room.
Francisco. I had to Google it. It was driving me crazy.
Another Yelp review from Damon's Freddie D. Booths are all newish and tables are bright and new. The only negative, back entrance is a bit dark. I think a bulb or two went out. A coat of polyurethane would indeed do a lot on exterior bamboo and wood outside back door.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice that he's given them the right product.
Yeah, like a real tip.
There's a very strange element to Damon's that they have the bar area, which is not. It's not like a bar that looks like you should just go to it. It's not like, oh, there's a restaurant, but there's also a bar, so you could just go and have drinks. But people are there having just drinks.
Oh,
because because it is USA, the greatest country in the world, there are 3 like flat screen TVs playing sports. So even though it's a full immersive tropical tiki experience, there's also like grizzly men there drinking beer and watching sport at a tiki bar. Very strange.
I also think it's because it's been there for so long, it's become people's local.
Yeah, but it's a strange local. But that's because there's no pub culture in the US, well, especially in
Yes.
LA. There's no pub culture. So everyone's local bars are whatever is actually closest because everything's so spread out. So all these men who definitely would be at like a dark sports bar pub eating in a tiki bar.
They're in Damon's.
They're in Damon's just like having a drink.
Final Yelp review, Des S says, I do not like that you literally have to walk through the entire restaurant to reach the host to be seated.
I agree with that.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. It's strange. The host, when it says like go to see the hostess before you, or the host before you dine, it's like, well, you shouldn't have to just like find it. That's odd.
I guess it's
It
because
should be at the door.
The thing is that there's the front door and the back door, the one that needs the polyurethane.
Just pick one.
Okay.
And I would say our hostess was, I'll use the word sullen.
Oh, really?
She was sullen.
Oh.
Yeah, real moody teenager.
Our server wasn't, though. She was fun.
She was a dream come true. What was her name?
I can't remember. It's probably, I'm going to guess. It was
Francine.
Like, exactly. But a lot of the staff there have worked there for many, many
Yeah.
years. But she was wonderful. She was also great when I like quietly ushered her over, being like, can we do like a cake with a candle? She was like, oh, I got you. And out came that giant slab of cake.
Oh, that was so good.
That was a really good slice of cake.
Yeah.
So, what is the UK equivalent of Damon's Tiki Bar? Then I was thinking, what's the UK equivalent of tiki culture? Now, tiki culture is a bit problematic and there's borrowings of appropriation of other cultures. Americans love tiki bars, tiki culture. I've worked it out.
What did we say for islands?
Can't remember, but I've worked it out. It's the concept of having a cup of tea. And by extension, afternoon tea. Because here's the thing. Tea, it's not British originally.
Right.
They fucking stole it from India,
Right.
didn't they? But it's become very British and beloved and a little bit joking. Like an afternoon tea is such a thing.
Right.
So I think going for an afternoon tea is the equivalent to going to a tiki bar. What do you think about that?
Wow. I mean, you floored me. I'd be interested to know what we did think of islands because it's almost basically the same thing. So I will insert that update here.
Okay.
This is Future Fraser. We said it was Latasca.
But yeah, no, I mean, I like it. I like where you're going with it. Did you try and think of what's the most British thing ever and then work backwards from there?
My main thing was appropriating another culture.
Right. You're like, got to start with that.
So, the UK equivalent of Damon's Tiki Bar and Tiki Culture is a cup of tea, or going for afternoon tea. Afternoon tea. You're welcome. Right, that's it. Thank you so much for listening. Please rate and review us. We love them. Love them.
I felt like I just did a perfect Scottish accent then.
Do you want to try again?
No, it's because I wasn't thinking about doing it.
Right, that's you.
I was going to say that and then I just said, right. No, but let's see, that was bad.
Do give us some feedback. You're welcome, America, on our Instagram. Email us at
You're welcome, America podcast at gmail.com.
and we'll see you soon. Thank
Bye.
you. You're welcome.
Bye.
You are right up my street.
Oh, you can't make me choose.
Igo by Toyota sponsors T4.
Fuck me, Lee Ryan's 13.
Marlene.
I remember we couldn't remember the word for table.